Hello, thank you for having me here and giving me the opportunity to speak to you. I'm Frank Nowack from Ford Motor Company as the feature owner for broadcast radio. And I will talk a little bit about DAB radio and car manufacturers.
Why do you believe live radio continues to be a valuable feature in modern vehicles, despite the rise of streaming services?
Live radio continues to be the valuable feature in modern vehicles is because of they are most actual, well-known and reliable and out of the current region. They have easy access, the fast change including good variety of content, speech and music. They have live warnings, informations about traffic news and emergencies, and the coverage advantage for the broadcast radio.
From a driver's perspective, what unique advantages does local radio offer compared to national or on demand audio platforms?
The difference between local and national I don't see as huge, but the difference to on demand can be extreme because, as an example, Radio Australia listening in Cologne. So the more local content, music or speech, is one major advantage, but also the precise prediction of traffic and warnings.
How does radio's ability to deliver real time content, like traffic updates or emergency alerts, factor into your in car technology strategy?
It is still first surface function to provide the most actual spoken information and warnings to the user. The same information might be available on navigation systems, but possibly not on the current scope or even mainly distracting the user. At least these are convenient warning and information functionalities.
How do you see the relationship between car manufacturers and radio broadcasters evolving as cars become more connected and software defined?
I agree that the connected radio may change the interaction, but software defined radio, I don't understand why that shall influence anything on the relationship, because it is just another technical way of get the broadcast radio functionality implemented into the car radio system. The relationship itself will be unchanged.
In terms of consumer behavior, do you have insights that support continued demand for traditional or digital radio features in new car models?
Yes, we do have insights to support demands on traditional or digital radio features in our new cars. They are made available mainly by the broadcasters associations, and there it is clearly mentioned that the overall listening time in a vehicle is nearly unchanged, and a higher number of 80% or more is saying that they would not buy a car if that car would not provide a radio, a broadcast radio.
As in car infotainment systems become more complex, how do you ensure that radio remains a part of the driver's daily routine?
Our in-car infotainment systems becomes more and more complex, but by using the well-known functionality and the unchanged priority of the broadcast radio, so the radio button, we will keep it on our daily routine. We will stay with the in-house skill teams to implement the easy and satisfying user experience for our customers. From my perspective, at this point, it is more important that the radio broadcasters keep or improve their audio content and the well-known functionalities like traffic announcements, slideshows, etc., um, so that they at least don't confuse the customers.
How can authorities help with keeping radio in the car?
The authorities could help to keep the radio in the car is if they limit their influence or the limiting of the functionalities not more than absolutely needed, and make a clear differentiation between the transmitting and receiving devices on their limitations to have the required approvals.
What are some of the issues that you can see with radio and digital radio, and how can we fix it?
One of the issues with digital radio is that with the increase of the stations around the world, that the interpretation of the standards is getting more and more divided, and we need more to educate everyone and to keep pressure on that all are interpreting that into the same direction.
What are your conclusions and final thoughts?
Thank you very much for the giving me the opportunity to speaking here today about the broadcast radio. And I think broadcast radio is still the way to go, and connected radio is an addition to that for further implementations. At least the whole ecosystem, the broadcasters and the car manufacturers need to work together to have a satisfying user experience with DAB radio in this area. And that's all for me from today. Thank you very much for listening.